Hi guys, I'm Shmee and it's time for the next video in the Road to 675 LT series as we go towards delivery of the new McLaren. I can't wait for the car, but of course last week it was sad times saying goodbye, farewell to the former one, the former Shmeemobile, the McLaren 650S Spider. I had some amazing adventures and journeys in that car during this year, and it all kicked off back at Christmas. I bought the car on the 23rd of December, headed up to McLaren Manchester in the showroom on the 24th of December, Christmas Eve. This was all super spontaneous and happened sort of overnight, quite literally. Shot the videos, wrapped up the car, and it was a pretty fun way to launch it, and I think it's been seen by over 1 million people now, which is truly insane. So it kicked off with unwrapping the Supercar Christmas Present. Inside the showroom window you can see exactly what we're here for. One neatly wrapped present, even with a bow on top. Let's get inside and get unwrapping. There we have it, the new Shmeemobile Mantis Green McLaren 650S Spider. Let's get it spinning around. From there, it actually took a little bit of time to get all of the documents sorted. That's quite a normal thing to have to deal with in the supercar world. Obviously, it's a lot of money, so you have to get all of the paperwork in place. So over the following week, I was uploading a couple of videos, my induction tour with Lee at McLaren Manchester. So tell me.
The first thing, the most apparent thing is the paintwork. So new for 650 is the Mantis Green special paintwork. Yeah. Incredible looking thing. Just you know, jumps out and hits you if the car wasn't enough already. Only available on 12C as an MSO option, but on 650S,
yes, it's
something that you can spec.
Yeah, I like the whole carbon fibre against the green.
Well, the green and the black.
This car.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the stealth pack on the badges.
Perfect. Okay, so this is the new Iris 2 system. Slightly different layout. We have, as we did previously, this is your home button. Nice overhead shot of the MTC there. Back button and settings button. These are the two buttons you're going to use the most of. Then
just showing you some of the features of the car, and I know you guys got a little bit frustrated because I was going on about it a little bit too long, but you have to imagine how painful it is when the car is sitting a couple of hours away and you can't drive it out yet because you haven't finished buying it. So it was showing the roof mechanism. The roof is going to fold up. Nice thud. And then the tonneau cover closes down at the back. And a few other pieces before ultimately heading back up to McLaren Manchester on New Year's Eve, as it happened, in my former car, the 12C, the MP4 12C, so it was driving up to Manchester to make the change. Miles done in the 12C, and it's absolutely filthy. It was clean before this morning, and from driving today in the weather, it's just picked up layers of grime, although it'll all get cleaned up. We've obviously got to go through the appraisal and get that ready and sorted out here, and then we're going to go inside for that one, the Mantis Green new Shmeemobile 650S Spider. So I need to get my stuff out of this car, get everything signed off, say farewell I suppose, and then get inside the showroom. When I got the 650S back home, it was time to go straight to Topaz Detailing to get it fully detailed and get the paintwork looking almost perfect. Time to snow foam the car, and this always looks quite funny. This loosens up any dirt on the surface and just lubricates it a bit for the time when you come to wash it. The paintwork side of the 650S is complete, and with the torch here, you can see the bulb reflecting off the car in a way that it just didn't quite do before. Very clean there on the carbon. Let's come and look around here. This was particularly troublesome before. Much better. Look at that. What about on the buttresses? Because those weren't very good before either. Much, much better reflections. Then, because I wanted to keep the Mantis green colour, you were all asking me if I was going to wrap it, but I wanted the green car. I had to get it paint protection filmed so that it was going to keep it looking absolutely brilliant through all of the trips. I knew I would be taking it off around Europe, perhaps on Gumball, so I needed to make sure that the paintwork was kept as good as possible. So again, Topaz, it was all about the paint protection film. So all of the edges of this quite soft material somehow end up, and actually, this might surprise you, the door's done, the side vent's done, that piece is done, this is done, this is done, and you can't tell at all that there's material on there, but obviously it's going to keep the paint with those very clean reflections that we got out of the detail. It's just funny to see that that ends up perfectly flat and non-visible eventually. One of the things that perhaps surprised me when I was very new to the car was, to me, I had initially seen the 650S as mostly a visual upgrade from the 12C. So I went out and did a sort of early thoughts kind of video, actually comparing it and thinking about it, because it was when I did that first collection day drive, 200 miles up to Manchester, 200 miles back home, in the 12C and the 650S, that I really got to see the difference between the two cars and feel how much more was improved in the 650S versus the 12C. And I think that took me by surprise, and I tried to portray that in a video. But I think a lot of people didn't quite get it, and they've started to understand it now, especially with the likes of Mr. Chris Harris, who's also had a McLaren. He's had a long-term loaner, actually. He's a bit luckier than I am because they've lent him one. But he's also said the same thing. It is such a good car to live with, so I put out some early thoughts about how it was for me to drive the new car. Fun piece I shot with the 650S was when my friend Saab Kyle04, fellow YouTuber who does some seriously in-depth reviews of cars, he came over to visit, and I lined up a couple of cars for us to go and shoot. But I thought one of the fun things to do was to do the Supercar airport pickup, so I headed down to London Heathrow and picked him up on arrival in the 650S.
Such a pretty color. Freaking love green.
So right now comes the first little task: luggage. Bonnet.
Nice.
It's fine. This car's got loads of space, actually.
When you responded to me on Instagram,
See?
I was thinking for a second, I was like, oh crap, maybe he's serious.
Yeah, when you put out that picture of your luggage, and I was like, that's not going to fit. But it is. Job done.
I'll just put this one in my lap.
You can travel in a supercar.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump in. The weather started to warm up and it started to approach road trip season. So this was obviously the huge Where's Shmee Euro Tour. And this year I did it with two cars, the 650S, and we also had the team car, which was a BMW M4 driving together. But I took the two cars with my team and a film crew as well. Night Shift Studios documentary coming out quite soon, actually. So we took the two cars on an immense tour around Europe. We visited so many places, basically on our way down to Monaco for top marks. But we went through everywhere, through Germany, through the Alps, had some amazing times and some pretty good roads and activities on the way. Go ahead. Fortunately, we're in traffic, queuing for a péage booth. That seems like a pretty good opportunity to just mess around, open the doors. The cool thing is, if I now accelerate, the doors are going to close themselves. I recreated a video I had made with the 12C the year before, taking the 650S up the mountain roads in the dark, just to take a look at what the exhaust would do. Just as I had hoped, a lick of blue flame spitting out of the back of the exhaust, which is always satisfying when you know it's because you've been driving the car properly. And what a car it's been, because I've pushed it quite hard. It's been through some amazing roads, some of Europe's best mountain passes, never ever skipped a beat in the process. When I was back from the trip, it was time for the first service. It's usually about 1 year or 10,000 miles on these cars, and I think my 650S might have been one of the very first to reach the 10,000 mile service, but it hadn't needed to be seen for anything before that, which was really quite cool. So I popped in, got that done, and then headed to Pure McLaren, which is where McLaren organise track events for their customers and owners. So you're in a very safe environment with a professional instructor showing you what to do, and this one was held at Silverstone. Time for the big one, Gumball 3000. This year's Gumball was held on some fairly normal, sane roads through Sweden, Norway, Denmark, Germany, then where did we go? Netherlands. So it was pretty safe as these things go, lots of just cruising, but what an amazing event. So many people turned out to see us in the different cities, and it started here in Stockholm, and this is one of my favourite photos, I think, from the whole rally on the start line. Just such a phenomenal experience. We decorated the car in theme with the event, with the hearts and spades and clubs and diamonds for the Las Vegas poker theme. The poker wheels you might have seen, those were a nice touch. And I think people thought it was a little bit strange at first because they didn't quite understand that it was a temporary thing just for the rally, but obviously it's all been peeled off since. But some clips from Gumball, because it really was a truly insane event.
111 coming up. Shmee and Christopher Murphy. Oh, look at this one. It's about to fly away, I think. You see the doors. Unloaded like hell, cold smoke. Because I'm a gangster.
We're ready. We're on the grid. Let's get set to go.
Shmee, let's get it, baby. Let's get it. Shmee, let's get it engine one time, baby. Engine for Hendrix Carlson. Wait, Hendrix Carlson. Yes, you got to do
Since Gumball, the miles haven't really been going on the car. I've been test driving a lot of different cars, building up towards saying farewell to the Shmeemobile. But what a start to the year it was. I ran the car for around 8 months, a truly immense amount of journeys, adventures, memories and fun times with the McLaren 650S. But as always, it's going to be on to new things. The McLaren 675 LT will be the new Shmeemobile. It's now a little over a month away, so that's quite exciting. It's due sort of early October, but I'll be doing plenty of videos with that as we get closer from here, just trying to iron out all of the details and what I can see, because obviously I've got a pretty busy schedule as well with other trips and things going on. But it's been amazing. I hope you've enjoyed some memories of the car. I certainly have, and I'm looking forward to the new adventures as we go forward from here. So thank you very much for watching this episode of The Road to 675 LT, and I'll catch up with you again very soon. Cheers! I'm going to be jumping on board the Delta Red 675 LT with Rob, my instructor, and it looks breathtaking. I was hoping for